Good morning, everyone. Today is March 11th, Monday, and this one's going to be a little bit of humble pie, a saying that I adopted a few weeks ago in one of my deeper exploratory events, and it kind of just stuck. Humble pie. I think I'm going to create a series on that because as we grow in spiritual maturity, there's things that come up that remind you of other experiences that you kind of cringe a little bit. So that to me is a humble pie experience. And if it's something that requires a sit-down, good dose of humble pie, then I will have my private time to review, assess, collect the wisdom, integrate, and then it becomes something that helps me expand spiritually. So again, good morning. This is Pandora, and the first humble pie is the sound quality in these videos as well as picture quality. I'm not a professional at doing these things. However, I am learning how to produce better quality content. So I have a new earbuds. I like them connected. If I don't have to use Bluetooth as much, then that'll be great. But I figured this might be a little bit better and noise canceling for the sounds that are in the car while I'm driving. I love to talk on these videos while I'm driving. I'm a natural multitasker. This is a comfort level for me. So, and I have an hour and 20 minutes to get to work, and might as well make use of it in this way. I don't produce content that is a whole hour and 20 minutes long, because at some point I need to recalibrate, focus. I speak to my sister. We're in business together. Well, it's family business, and there's just a lot to it that is just beautiful experience. So that was my first humble pie, small dose or small portion. As far as the sound quality, it will get better. I did order a kit so that way I can have better videos to do at home with a ring light and camera stand and microphone, so the quality of the sound can be better, especially when I get more into doing channeling, live channeling, or at least video channeling for some consciousnesses that I tap into, or do trance channeling, or anything else that I feel like doing, because this is my platform and I'm sharing the most inner world of myself and expressing it to others, so others can, draw from my experiences and maybe build connection that way, energetically. And there are over 8 billion ways to do stuff. So every individual person is unique, and what I am desiring to teach in these videos is how to have you get back to you. Understanding your inner language, your outer language, the tools available to assist you, the messy parts of spiritual evolution, or even just human evolving. My goodness. It doesn't even have to be for spiritual purposes, but how to connect human to human, relationship to relationship. And I don't mean just relationship with people. I mean relationship with everything that you have in your life at this point of focus, and everything that you want to attract and have come to you in your future now moment, as well as identifying, understanding, having compassion, kindness, and gentleness and love with yourself for the person that you were previous to these expansions and awarenesses. So there is something a little bit more private that I wanted to share. One of my sons is going through a breakup with his girlfriend. And, you know, as I listen to him, how he is processing and how I'm doing my best to guide him, help him navigate through the grief process. She's still with us, and we love her and we miss her dearly. But, you know, my youngest biological son, because I have 3 biological children, boys, sons, grown men, and I have 4 stepchildren, which they're all grown as well. So my youngest son, biological son, is 22, and his past girlfriend, his most recent past girlfriend, I don't want to say the ex-girlfriend because it's just, to me, that is a little yucky around the energy of words. And if you haven't seen my past videos, you know, I really gravitate to the etymology of words and also the vibration of the words. So keeping these conversations lighter and more higher vibrational for me, this is my interpretation, how I choose to speak. For you, it'll be whatever is appropriate for yourselves. So my son's recent past girlfriend, which he hasn't had many, which is good. He doesn't like to mess around. He definitely has respect for women, and he's young. So this girl, she is 18 and a half now. And, you know, when you're really comfortable with someone and you make each other laugh, and it's just very nice to be with, and they've done things together, I really enjoyed watching them interact and experience life. However, he's 22, she's 18, and this kind of relationship, you know, could have some more serious elements that they're both not ready for, especially not her. She's 18 and needed to figure things out, and, you know, what to do with college and work and, you know, family dynamic. And my son, being 22, is on the precipice of wanting to be with someone, most likely to create a longer term future. And the way that I was assisting him in processing his grief and the emotions is to also have a logical perspective while honoring his grief, because that is so important. If we shut our emotions off because someone can't hold a space for them, or they can't understand, or you know, it's just confusing and there's so many unanswered questions, holding a space for someone's grieving process, and I use the word grieving because it is a loss. They did everything together, just about. They were together. If they weren't working, they were together most of the time, unless they were doing things with their own friends individually. And it was beautiful to see but also understanding that this kind of relationship is for people that could be for people that are ready to have a longer term commitment. And there's nobody's to blame, and nobody is angry or upset at what transpired, because they're not really communicating that much right now. But it's holding a sacred space for their evolving process, whether they realize it or not, whether if they can make sense of it or not, it doesn't matter. They'll find out as they gain more clarity through their experiences of maturing. They'll recognize what this relationship was about. And there's no telling that in the future, once they've had some time apart, they could come back together as a couple, or be more friendly, or never have an interaction again. And there is such honor and respect and humbleness to supporting, my own son's journey, plus this past girlfriend's journey, and honoring them both where they're at right now. Now, I could reach out to her to see how she's doing, and at this time, I am holding space for her from a distance. She does know that I am accessible to her, and that if she wanted to talk about anything, that she is more than welcome to, reach out to me. But it's beautiful, just beautiful to see the dynamic of relationships, how they weave together and then entwine with others around that relationship that support it. So many blessings to them and to their process of evolving, becoming more mature adults, and finding healing and self-care through this time, whatever that may look like, even though many others may not agree to their process, but it is still their own individual journey. So my humble pie that I really needed to take a dose of, portions of, as I'm witnessing what my son is going through. And he's not like sad or depressed every day. He has moments where he feels the tug on his heart and there's pain. And then, I help him through that, and he does his own work to heal that. But I find myself reflecting on the way I handled previous intimate relationships with the men in my life, and as far as partners, whether they were romantic partners or friends, it's just, I did not know. I did not see things more clearly then as I do now. And I want to claim my deep, sincere, humble apologies to the men that I have impacted in a negative way. There is also so many good, positive impacts. But in light of my son's grieving process for the loss of his girl, of his love, me as his mother, I really had an opportunity to feel the ripple effect of breakup scenarios and the impact it does to those that you get close to in other families and friends. And especially when we are not taught young how to honor the individual expressions of others and ourselves, to even know ourselves better, to make insightful decisions about connecting with people. You know, there's attraction, sexual, energetic attraction that, you know, we gravitate to. How someone looks, something that they've done, and we hold that one thing to resemble the whole person. And that is just not a healthy way to bond with another person. And then that's what the dating process is for. The dating process is to get to know the other person. But I was such in need and desperate for connection with a male. I did not have a healthy relationship with my father, even though I tried to, you know, connect with him in different ways. You know, we have a family business that my father and my mother both worked very hard to build. And then my mother moved us out of the city area into a country, at the time was rural, suburban, like for, you know, this state, not very rural, but it was for us because it was quite a difference. And at this time, I really don't want to reveal the state yet, or, you know, the locations that I've been at. So, you know, my parents worked very, very hard to create a successful business that we are all grateful for, but I was not very grateful because I was more of a country person. I really wanted to be in the woods, in my cabin, have rolling hills and horses when I was younger. But as I got to teenager, I really wanted to get close to my dad, so I learned how to fix cars. You know, slightly, not very major. I mean, I knew how to take them apart. Putting them together was a whole nother scenario that I was hopeless at. Anyway, oh my goodness, my youth, my teenage years, it was a form of rebelling, but it was more connecting, wanting to connect, enjoying different things. If I have learned my father's language, this is what I believed. If I could do things, so I gravitated to guy friends or boyfriends when I was younger that can open up a world of what a guy likes to do. So I can learn the language, like fixing cars. I remember my father, seeing him fix his car, do his oil change, you know, talk to him about cars, you know, or, you know, make something inside, because my father was very much not about the girl being outside in the garage, and I loved building things. So I had different classes in high school where it was architectural design, drafting, woodworking, just different types of things that I gravitated to, not just to have a language to speak to my father about, but to connect with something that was more male dominant, is what I can see right now as I'm speaking this out to you. I'm reflecting on why I gravitated to a lot of these things that I enjoy. Oh my goodness, I love it. But I probably, you know, could have done a lot more with my life when I was younger, but I was lost. And this is the dilemma of the youth and not having someone that can assist them in their exploration. And I felt lost like that. I wanted to connect with my father so bad. So instead, if I couldn't connect with him, I connected with guy friends, and then some of them became boyfriends, and then I experienced life through the enjoyment of what boys and men like to do. Cars, four-wheeling, camping. Not that that's only what men like to do, because us women like to do that as well. But it was my experience. So with the relationships that I had got into when I was younger, I didn't know myself. I was living a life to try to impress others. And even though I loved all my experiences, it was not, it was mainly induced and brought curiosity to try to connect with the dominant male in my life, which was my dad. My dad is no longer with us right now. He passed away a couple of years ago. And I was able to create a bond before he died with him. I helped my mom take care of him. And he saw me in a different way, and we were able to connect, and that was beautiful. But my mourning, my sadness was, that we could have had this so much sooner. Except that, he was a hard man, and he created a hard daughter. Hard to blend together, mentally, emotionally. And it was through the care he needed for his vulnerability while he was sick, and all the work that I have done throughout my life spiritually, how I recognized what I was holding on to. I was seeking approval and acceptance by my father. And up until the time that I was able to say, no, I don't. I don't need his approval or acceptance to be who I am to be, to love myself, to know that I am a sovereign being, whole and beautiful and magical, and have so much to offer. The moment that I reversed, shifted that perspective, was the time where my father and I had the space to provide to each other a level of care and love and openness to some degree. We had still limitations because this was a new territory for us. But it was such a freeing experience to shift my perspective, release what I was holding on to all my life. I'm in my early 50s right now, and he passed away the year I turned 50. So it's going to be, I'm 52. So, and my sadness is that we could have done this sooner, but of course, shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't really add so much value to our expansion, because then we get caught in the cycle of that sadness and remorse and regret, and that's not a healthy place to stay in for very long. It serves its purpose for the time being as you're processing, but in order to grow and evolve and gain the wisdoms from all that had transpired in just a shift of perspective, split second, it's what it takes. And then there is this revealing of this new space to explore with more ease and just wonder and awe of, oh my goodness, this other part existed. It was always here. But I am grateful that in his last year, while I was able to assist my mom and my sisters, we all did our best to take care of him in his last year of his life. I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity to have a loving and caring and kind and gentle impact on his humanness, on his soul, like having an imprint on the memories for him, whatever he carries in the afterlife, in his transition. I feel at peace that at least I was able to show him the truth of who I was, who I am, the gentleness, the caring, the kindness, the compassion, the love, as a daughter to a father that, we had a very challenging relationship all of my life. For him too. And then there is so much compassion for who he was and who he couldn't be, who he wanted to be and didn't know how to be. And the revealing of these perspectives creates such profound awarenesses of the delicate nature of humanity. Men, women, all beings. There's such a delicate nature that if we could take responsibility for being stewards of all forms of consciousness, especially the ones that we encounter in our everyday, humans, animals, plants, things, car. Like my car has a name and I love her, and it's just, she's like, I'm so grateful for her every day, how I obtained her, how my mother helped in so many ways in my life. But if somebody with a less freeing flow of energy, something goes on with my car. Some light doesn't work, or windshield wipers go crazy, or my side camera goes on, whatever. And I just then know that person cannot be driving my car because their energy is a little bit off than mine, way off than mine. Anyway, so my humbleness, my deep, sincere apologies go to the men in my life that I hurt unconsciously. I was not aware of how to nurture, support, care, understand, know when to walk away, know how to speak to the men in my life, know how to care for their souls even when they can't see it for themselves. And I can say this now because of the awareness and the growth, and we have to bring this forward. Men are beautiful. Men are amazing. Men serve an important role. And it's not just men, it's the masculine energy that is dominant in the male figure. Women are important too. And that's going to be another video, because right now I am expressing my sincere apologies to the men in my life that I could not be fully present for. And it makes me emotional because there's so many beautiful spirits, so many beautiful men that I had in my life, not just romantic, but professional, friends, relatives. This is about all forms of men in my life. My sons, my stepsons, it's just like, they're amazing beings. And the spirit of men, the spirit of the masculine energy needs so much healing and support right now. We are, as a society, we're not balanced. Not balanced at all. And, aggressive men have had, and even not aggressive men that, not every man has, is lost, okay? Not every woman is lost. But in general society, I deal with, in the family business, I have young staff members at the store. And young men, young women are needing so much support. And it's not even the young men, it's the elders as well. It's the middle-aged. It's every level of male form is needing to be supported with integrity as much as the women. So my humbleness is in reflecting, and my sorrow is in recognizing the impact of an unconscious and unaware woman, myself, feminine, myself. I did not know. Could not see. For as much as I was seeking for all that I was wanting clarity on since I was so young. All the imprints of the distorted forms of men and women, but men mostly. I did not have a decent relationship with my father, so I'm sure that is quite an impact on me in my reflecting of how to navigate with male relationships. So for the men out there that do find this video, or this video finds you, discover who you really are and who you want to become. Heal your past and be a healthy, wonderful representation of a masculine, of a male that can shine your light brightly. Do it for yourself. Do it for your daughters. Do it for your wives, your girlfriends. Do it for your mothers. Do it for any feminine that is in your life. But you first have to seek this alignment within yourselves. As the saying goes, we need to, as humans, to be able to be a support for someone else, we have to be supported ourselves. And that is so impactful. So, thank you so much. I appreciate so much for this space to share vulnerable, real life events and curiosities and reflection on my human experience. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know others have their experiences, male, female. And it's the ability to share these inner worlds of our own that we carry within us. And others can connect and will be able to connect and recognize this for themselves and be able to heal, be able to shift into greater awarenesses where it can have an impact on your human journey, your soul's evolution, and the generations moving forward, generations ahead of us. The young need to have healthier representation of unity and healthier relationships. And what does that look like? How do we interact? How do we support one another? How do we take care of each other? How do we love one another? Truly, truly love. It is that is our basic language, is love. That is the connecting thread to each other. But how do we release the distortion around love so we can generate that purely from our aligned state? And our alignment is knowing who we are as souls, as streams of consciousness, as our physical human, our energetic being, our mental construct, the ego, the personality, the characteristic traits. All these have a place within our experience, and it is the alignment, our presence, being present in this moment to identify the things in our inner world that is expressing who we are. And if we don't feel the alignment, then sit with what is out of alignment and develop a relationship with that. One of the most important things for us to do as human beings is have a deep respect and reverence for our own relationships to ourselves. When you recognize that, you see that, you find it, you express it, that's when you move mountains. That's when you impact the waves. It reverberates through time for generations to come, and you heal your ancestral line as well. It takes seeing it, recognizing it, feeling it, connecting with it, owning it and integrating it, and become better from it, better evolved versions of ourselves from that experience. Many blessings to you all. Be kind to yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, and love yourselves through this process. It is a beautiful space to be in when we can see ourselves more complete, more aligned. In whatever methodology you need to get to that place, my teaching is for you to get there. Find whatever is going to work for you to find your aligned state. And it starts with baby steps. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and it'll grow to an hour. Before you know it, it becomes your whole state of being more constantly. And that's what the magical life is. There's so much to gain from aligning with your true self. Many blessings to you. I love you all, and see you on the next video.